So my last guest, I'm very, very proud to have. Her name is Morgane Oger. And Morgane Oger is here to talk to us because you may know she recently won a Human Rights Tribunal ruling in BC against hate speech. And this is the kind of thing that we're here fighting against. Ladies and gentlemen, Morgane Oger.
I want to start this off by mentioning that I had a nice chat with the mayor of Oak Bay today. And he returned my call, and I was impressed by that. And he told me that the city of Oak Bay is working on policy change to make sure that today never happens again. I don't know this person very well, but I expressed my gratitude. And I told him that, the fact that they were doing that was enough for me to forgive him for allowing his city council to enable transphobia on city property today, right now. Shame. I also thought I would mention that I'm pretty sure that it's a violation of all of your human rights to be on city property where hate propaganda and discriminatory advice is being given against people like us or your friends or your families. And I'm pretty sure the BC Human Rights Tribunal would not at all frown on anybody for putting forward a complaint. And I have some knowledge about complaints. And I can speak from the heart when I say I am quite certain that the Morgane Oger Foundation could help you find a lawyer. If somebody put in their heart or found it in their heart to take action. Nonetheless, it would be really symbolic because hopefully this will never have an opportunity to happen again. The Canadian Christian Coalition is the organization that's hosting this. They invited a person to speak. And I wanted to speak quickly about how this organization with 2 or 3 members speaks for Christians, apparently, and likes to pretend. They like to pretend that hatred and discrimination are Christian values or Canadian values. And I wanted to address this because we all know that this is not true. I am personally not a person of God. But I have given a sermon recently. Bill Watcott visited when I was there in Kamloops, and it was ugly. But apparently he has a 500-meter exclusion from LGBT events. Half a kilometer, it turns out to be really far. It went across the highway. He had to go to the other side of the highway, and there was no off-ramp. He had to go pretty far. Anyhow, it's not a Canadian value, and it certainly is not a Christian or religious value for anybody to discriminate or to incite discrimination. And I wanted to clearly share some of my thoughts on this. Point 1. The wind. What's with the wind?
Welcome to Victoria.
I know, it's so nice. So, the Canadian Charter of Rights does not give unlimited freedom of expression. It does not give unlimited religious freedoms. As a matter of fact, it does not give any unlimited freedoms. I know this because in the Oger v. Watcott Human Rights Tribunal, that's what the tribunal ruled. It ruled that no, as a matter of fact, you don't get to say whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. For example, you don't get to incite hatred in a publicly owned facility. That's one of those things. Another one is at work. And more importantly, you don't get to incite discrimination on explicitly prohibited grounds. For example, religion, race, color, place of origin, gender identity, sex or gender, gender expression, place of origin, I don't know if I said that, sexual orientation, and the other ones. Any of the 14 enumerated, explicitly protected rights, you cannot advocate for discrimination against people on those rights alone. You have to make up some, lies. But if it's because of them, people belonging to a specific group, that's a violation of their right. As a matter of fact, if you do that at work, you'll get fired for it. You should ask Jordan Peterson about that. He has never set foot in a classroom again since he said he would be rude to trans people. Never. I think he'll never be in a classroom again. I hope. I think it would be a good thing. So, I wanted to be clear about where we stand on all of this, because this is really important stuff. I don't care who you are or who you think any one of us is. I don't care if you're a man or a woman or non-binary. I don't care what your race is or your mental illness is or anything else. Even if you think deep down that me or anybody here is an abomination or any other weird idea, nobody cares that you believe this. We might regret it or feel sorry for you, but we don't actually care. What we care is that you do not do anything about it because it's against the law to discriminate against people. And that's all there is to it. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter who's paying you, it doesn't matter how much money you're making for being a bigot. Discrimination on explicitly prohibited grounds is illegal in Canada. And to be clear, if you say that we're damaged, or if you say that we're dangerous or contagious because of who we are, or if you say we're hurting kids because we're letting them be themselves, or if you think that anything we do to keep a society or a community together in defense against bad people who do bad things, if all of those things, you believe those things because it's on the basis of an explicitly prohibited grounds of discrimination, nobody cares that you think that. Go ahead, have those feelings. I think my dog has feelings too, but sometimes it doesn't matter. What matters is what you do. We do not tolerate discrimination on explicitly prohibited grounds. Now we're going to say it together. Discrimination on explicitly prohibited grounds is against the law. Period. Now I'm going to get into the threatening part of it. Who here knows a transgender person? Okay, well, we have news for people who didn't get the memo. We're protected from discrimination just like the gay people and the bisexual people and the lesbian people. Lesbians are. And all of us together, we know our rights and we know lawyers. And we know judges and we know politicians and we know premiers and prime ministers. And we know how to flex our legal muscle. And we have no hesitation whatsoever to enforce our rights. Have a really good afternoon enforcing your rights.
Do you have evidence that Jenn's presentation cites hatred? Or,
absolutely. I have a recording of Jenn's presentation. Morgane Oger speaking.
Hi Morgane, it's Jenn Smith again.
Hi Jenn.
The thing that stood out to me is that you admitted on video that you have an illegal recording of my presentation. So I'm just wondering
actually, just to be clear, Canadian law allows single party recording.
Okay, well, I have an express copyright statement, and
oh, please.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. Okay, you can't go into a concert. You can't go into a concert and make a pirate recording.
Listen, Okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to provide it to the police as evidence?
No, I want to know. I want to know who you got it from.
I'm sorry.
Who did you get it from?
Okay, next question.
So you are you condoning illegal recordings? Because
Look,
you say that you support the enforcement of Canadian law, right?
It's very simple. My political agenda is to ensure that Canadian laws are followed. That is my one and only agenda.
I'm sorry. Send me the copyright. Please.
You know how copyright works, Morgane. I don't need to register
Take that to
it.
court.
Okay. No. What I'm asking you is if you support the illegal recording of a presentation that's been declared copyright.
I don't I would need to go and ask my commercial law lawyer to find out if that. I don't support breaking the law.
Okay. Well,
So,
you've got an illegal recording. You've got an illegal.
Listen, spare me. Okay.
Okay. Well.
I'm not interested in your legal analysis. I have my own.
Okay.
So spare me.
Okay.
If you feel that I have done something illegal, okay, spare me. I will remind you of the laws regarding copying of cassettes for personal use. For evidence.
Right, copying of cassettes. I'm familiar with that because I worked with a museum for a while, so I know some of these laws.
That's fine. Listen, if you really want, we'll just get them transcribed and we'll delete the originals. The originals aren't even in my possession. All I have is a link. So I am completely compliant with the law. The originals have been published online somewhere.
What I wanted to know was whether you, as vice president of the NDP, endorse this illegal recording.
I do not. I'm sorry.
Yes or no?
No. Ask the.
You've got.
You're so impossible to deal with.
I'm just asking if you support the illegal recording.
Provide. You claim something is illegal. Your claim something is illegal is not a legal fact.
Well, I'm asking
I'm
you
sorry.
if you support
Okay,
this
move
recording.
on. You're not getting an answer to this.
Okay.
Move on.
All right. Okay.
And what I heard on Jenn's presentation incited discrimination
Which part?
against people. That's all I have to say. That's all there is. What do you mean, which parts?
You don't know which part
Question
exactly?
42.
The whole thing?
No, specific things
Which
that Jenn
specific
said.
part, Morgane?
The specific violation of Canadian law that Jenn Smith urges people to do is discrimination against children on the basis of their gender identity by pushing against the subject curriculum. Jenn proposes that only LGBT children be excluded
So your
from
entire
the education of schooling.
Your entire
And it's all
political
that
agenda
simple.
is actually
That is all
hinged
there is.
on human rights, so you're going to get away with it no matter what. Well, you're running
So
for
what
you're
are you
running for the
asking?
government.
I'm
That's
not
the
running
difference.
for the government.
You did before.
I have.
Are you not the VP of the NDP?
I am that. Yes.
So which part of Jenn's presentation actually violates human rights?
The part of Jenn's violation that violates human rights is any part of her propaganda that states that transgender people are mentally ill. That transgender children should not be treated the same as other children or protected the same as other children on the basis of their gender identity or expression or sexuality. That's all there is to it. Inciting discrimination or stating that you intend to discriminate on explicitly prohibited grounds in Canada is against the law.
Are you going to take Jenn to court?
I'm just
asking. I'm just asking.
I don't have to take Jenn to court.
I'm just asking. Yeah.
Jenn, because Jenn refuses to participate in society the way one is expected to, is bringing it onto everybody else that there is not going to be room for hate propaganda or inciting discrimination in public spaces that are owned or rented to, like they're owned by a municipality and rented out, simply because Jenn insists on inciting.
So you can't actually take him to court because you don't. I won't speculate, but you're not going to take him to court. But you're just going to rely on public-funded spaces to shut down speech. You're not actually going to take him to court. You're just going to rely on public spaces to shut down speech. That's your plan? That's what you said?
No,
to summarize?
I don't think that's a fair statement. I think the right statement is today. The measure that we're working on today is making sure that municipalities live up to their responsibilities under Canadian human rights law. There are other measures being worked on, but that is the measure today.
I bet there are.